Well, welcome back. We're going to break format here a little bit and talk about modern day events. But these do directly correspond to spiritual events. This is a message about faith largely, and how we need to look at it in context. Now, I'm going to reach out here, and maybe for some of you that you think maybe this is stretching a bit. I don't think so. But when there's a coordinated effort to keep our border open and to let people just stream across the order of 7 million people, and to fly 300,000 of them across in an airplane into the States and deposit them everywhere, there's something more going on here. Something very nefarious, something very worrisome, if you don't know how to rely on God. And that's what I want to talk about throughout this, is how to rely on God in these circumstances. Because if you recall in the Garden of Eden, the first thing that the serpent did was he approached the woman and he twisted God's words. And the twisting of words is what we need to worry about today, what we need to be concerned about, what we need to be focused on, what we need to be paying better attention to. The twisting of words. So, as we used to say 15 years ago, we used to call the people coming across our border illegals, and then we were shamed into calling them undocumented. But really what we ought to be calling many of them coming in now, we need to be identifying them as enemy combatants. Sure, there are a lot of people that are just trying to come to a better life here in America, and we're probably going to disappoint them when they find out really what it's turning into. It's turning into what they left, basically, because of the same policies. But I digress. Enemy combatants. So when we're confronted with Chinese men that are 18, 19, 20 years old, fighting age, military age, that are coming into our borders and go wherever they want, when we have known terrorists from Iran boasting about how we're going to know very soon who they are, because apparently they're going to advertise it, we assume, by some terrorist event. When we have millions of these potential enemy combatants crossing into our border, we need to be concerned about that. We need to be concerned about the cell phones that they've been given with GPS tracking on them, with encrypted ways of talking and texting and video chatting. Encrypted. WhatsApp, for instance, is an encrypted chat. Very commonly used worldwide now, WhatsApp. So it's not a stretch to say that these people are communicating through encrypted technology, just like the military does when they talk over their communication devices. So they've been shown how to get into America, the exact points of entry. They've been given documents and instructions how to get to places in America. But to what purpose? Who is funding them? Who is giving them these cell phones and these directions and even prepaid credit cards to come into America and distribute them, let's just dare say, evenly throughout America? Who? And for what purpose? Well, I think it's very clear. When we have the elites building bunkers in record times, our overlords, then we ought to be concerned. So, how long is it going to be until maybe the soft opening, let's call it, the soft opening of these enemy combatants start forming roving gangs that go to neighborhoods all over America and extort money onto individuals, just like the mafia has always done. Okay? We know for a fact they're here. What are you going to do when they come to a door and say, listen, be a shame if your daughter just disappeared on the way to school today. For a little bit of money, you can offer us, we'll offer you protection, make sure she gets home fine. Okay? Those are scenarios. But that's the least, the very, very least of what could happen. And what I believe, honestly, I believe, is being prepared to happen to us right now. What I believe is about to happen to us is these people that all have cell phones, these potential enemy combatants from all over the countries of the earth that hate us, with a single signal, they can unleash hell in America all at the same time, overwhelming any kind of law enforcement because they've got numbers on their side. Why should we not think that they have warehouses full of armaments already? Explosive devices, top assault rifles, whatever they want. Why should we not believe that is happening already and is already planned? We don't have any reason not to think that. And truthfully, if you're an enemy country that wants to rape and pillage America for its resources, including human beings, why wouldn't you do this? America's never going to see it coming. Meanwhile, we're focused on Ukraine, we're focused on things in the Red Sea, all these other things. The news headlines are misdirecting us with headlines. Look here, look here, look here. Look over there, look over there, look over there. It's basically what they're telling us. Don't look right here in your own backyard. Now, we had a movie back in the 80s, which was remade. It was called Red Dawn. You might have remembered the original version with Patrick Swayze, where North Koreans, parachuted into America and sat down on the ground from their parachutes and stormed into schools with their AK-47s, machine gunning anybody that opposed them. We don't need airplanes and parachutes. We've got Joe Biden flying them into America, 300,000 at a time, putting them everywhere he wants, letting them walk in, busting them everywhere all over America. You don't think the Red Dawn scenario could happen here? Why not? Tell me why not? What good reason do you have that you think our American government has our best interest at heart right now? Go ahead, comment below. Go ahead. Comment. We don't have any reason to trust the fact that our rights are being protected. Those are not facts. There's no fact that says we're being protected right now, when our focus, including our military, is being sent overseas. And what's happening here in America, you need to wake up about. Because all it's going to take is a simple signal put out through all these cell phones, these millions and millions of cell phones that somebody somewhere paid for to communicate with all these potential enemy combatants that have been brought into America, where we've had our president hold the door wide open for them to walk right in. And that's what's happened. A simple signal. Attack now. Well, what does that take? Look what happened on October 7th in Israel. Why does that not happen here identically? Why not? That was a soft run compared to what's going to happen here. And men, if you don't have If you don't have a half dozen guns in your house, you need to get them and you need to go out and train with them. Because one day you could wake up and all hell is broken loose. There is no police on the street. There is no military helping us. Door to door, rapings of your daughter, of your wife, machine gunning of your babies in your crib, just like happened in October 7th in Israel, will happen here. The numbers, the 7 million plus just during the Biden administration that have been let in. The demographics on these people have changed a lot. The nationalities have changed. The age groups have changed. These aren't families just coming in here. Those are the minority numbers. The real numbers are enemy combatant soldier types that have come into America now and are sitting and waiting for the go signal to attack. You have no idea how easy it is to shut America down and bring it to its knees if you're being attacked everywhere, all at once, from all directions, from within. And all great societies have fallen from within. So, this has been foretold. Okay? There's somebody called Julie Green that has been talking about these scenarios. And the fact is, we're told through Julie Green, and I believe that God is speaking to her because I've watched so many prophecies fulfilled now. And maybe you think I'm a nut, but I think you're nutty for just believing everything the news media has told you, and you keep on gulping it down. Okay, without verification, knowing it's wrong. Again and again and again, what they've told you, proven to be wrong. Okay? I believe, from what I've been shown, and the evidence, check, hundreds of things have been fulfilled that this prophet has talked about, modern day prophet. And Christians, if this is the point you're clicking away, you are fools. Okay? Don't stand in the same crowd of people that stoned Christ because he spoke the truth that they didn't want to hear. Don't stand with the same crowd that stoned Zechariah because he came with truth they didn't want to hear. So here's the point of this, with bringing in a prophet into the scenario of what I've just warned you about. God has our back. And just as the Hebrews were led out of Egypt, taking all of Pharaoh's gold, it wasn't even Pharaoh's gold, he had confiscated it from the Hebrews over a slow ticking time of 400 years, took all these rich Hebrews, slowly took away their land, took away their livestock, put them in debt to owe the Egyptians because they could no longer pay, set up a system of debt that they had to work off as slaves. Yeah, does that sound familiar as to what's going on right now? To where we're at in America? Yeah, it sounds very familiar. So God sent along Moses. Okay? God sent along a messenger to Moses 10 times. Hey, I'm going to send this plague upon you as a sign. Pharaoh didn't listen. It wasn't until the 10th time. So here's what I'm saying. If you believe that God is not involved in our lives anymore, that it's all just in the Bible, you're wrong. You're just wrong. If you believe America is just a big accident that didn't have divine providence to found America, that the founders of America believed in God and had wisdom, and told us in the very Declaration of Independence that we had divine providence to dissolve a government that no longer has the safety and the concerns to guard Americans. All that was just some sort of myth that was written? Really? You can trust that God is going to stop short of what's going to happen. I am talking to you about this today so that you will remember what I am saying and what God is trying to teach you. Now, God always listens to prayer. Pray through Christ. You can persuade God to stop things shorter than His intended plans already, believe it or not. There are people in the Bible that talked with God and persuaded His wrath to be dialed back or misdirected or directed a different direction. We have those stories in the Bible. So you need to pray, number one. You need to pray to God to hasten His time to stop these plans that are upon us to overthrow, to plunder, to rape and pillage America. These plans that are underway. We've had people in our government say imminent attacks here in America. And somehow the news media just doesn't want to talk about it, just kind of sweep it over the next story about Taylor Swift or whoever, right? You with me? I hope so. All right, put your comments below. Tell me I'm crazy. But I'll tell you one thing. The enemy within is here, and they're not going away, and they're not going to forget. They are being richly paid by a variety of countries, and some of them, like evil does, some of them are probably even being blackmailed. Some of them are being extorted. Some of them are being, what's the word? Forget the legal term for this, basically. It'll come to me maybe later. Basically, where, listen, we're going to kill your entire family unless you go to America and kill Americans. Right? We know that happens for a fact. Okay? Duress. That's the term I was looking for. We have players here in America, enemy combatants, that are separate from just innocent migrants trying to find a better life. We have enemy combatants here in America that our government has told us they know that are here. They just haven't shocked us with revealing what the real numbers are. We know that some of them are here willingly because they hate America. They hate our values. They hate Christianity, which was predominantly an American-identified religion. There are others that are under duress that if they don't kill as many Americans as they can possibly kill, then their families will be killed or raped or tortured or maybe all of the above. That's how evil is. So, again, I want you to pray about this. God is in charge. Prayer works. Pray against these things. Pray that the deep state gets taken down in America and all over the world for that matter, that they cannot have their way. To come out of this alive somehow on the other side of all the raping and pillaging and plundering and destruction of America, that they can just emerge out of their bunkers like happy groundhogs seeing the sunlight. Now, you can pray that all those people will be taken out of power beforehand. And I believe that God's going to do that. And I'm going to recommend these things for you to listen to. If you want to have your mind blown away, here's another prophet that Kim Clement. He passed away about a week before he was supposed to meet with President Trump again. This was back in just before 2016, I believe it was. He said a lot of amazing things. He said they would try to impeach Trump twice. He said he'd visit North Korea. He said the stock market would go to 20,000, and it did for the first time ever in its history, 6 months into the Trump presidency. He said that the man he would send along to be president would show no fear whatsoever. Sound like Trump, right? Now, I'm not saying that Trump is our savior, but God chooses people in history that are after his own heart for a country, after his own heart of belief in God's righteousness and prevalence upon a land. God can work with anybody. You know, even David was flawed and did heinous, horrible acts, sinful acts, but God still worked with him. So pray for our leaderships, the real leaders of America, okay? The white hats, okay? Pray that their time to enact God's righteousness, take these corrupt, evil individuals out of play that are oppressing us. Pray for their time to come. Pray for God's timing to hasten now. Because there is going to be a dark period that we go through. And I can't put any more meaning on that word dark. But we will go through a short, not permanent, a temporary dark period. Very dark. And it will look like all is lost. It will look like confusion. You hold tight. Start praying now. Build a relationship with God the Father, with Yeshua, which is Jesus. His real name is Yeshua, Jesus, okay? Build a relationship with him. And when I say build a relationship, that means start putting your trust in him. Talk to him like you trust him. Okay? And don't be doubting about God. Trust him with your life, with your family, with your country. Thank you.